The experts put a twist on communicating with your infant before they can even speak. Babies have the ability to learn and use signs that could make understanding your babies so much easier. Believe me, Erin Stauder is joining us with more, with some basic sign language that you can teach your little ones. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So why is this so important?
It's important because setting up positive communication and positive language experiences from day one with children sets them up for positive educational experiences later on in life. Sign language is just one thing that parents and caregivers can do to promote those positive language and communication interactions, decreasing frustration, and having a little bit smoother routines in a busy household.
I told you I did this. Both of my children. My 10-month-old definitely knows more, and she'll put her fingers to her mouth for food. But we didn't get too much farther. At what point is she too old now? She's 10 months. What age do you want to start teaching these skills?
So it's important to know that it's never too late. We at HASA really work with the families to determine what their needs are and to help them decide on signs that are important to them for whatever stage their child is at. So if your is it daughter or son?
Daughter.
If your daughter is 10 months old, if she loves to read, you could teach her book.
Yes.
If she loves music, you could teach her music by doing the sign for music. But it's never too late. That being said, it's also never too early. So just like parents enjoy talking to their children as soon as they're born, caregivers nurture their babies, sign language can be used for those same experiences.
They learn it so quickly. Is that why this is important? You know, both of my daughters were able to sign much quicker than they're able to talk. So how is that, and why is that?
Well, speech is a very complicated motor task. Using your hands to sign is also complicated, but slightly less complicated than producing verbal speech.
Right.
So as soon as children can sit up and have that kind of trunk support and core stability to be able to start waving their hands around or using their hands, they can start producing those signs, which is going to be much earlier than children can verbally produce a word that can be understood by their parents.
And when it's been a long day, understanding what your child wants and needs is pretty crucial and very helpful in your life.
It's very helpful. It decreases frustration. It makes everybody happier at the end of the day to know that your son or daughter isn't tantruming just because they're tantruming. They're tantruming because maybe they want milk.
Right.
Maybe they want some water. Maybe they want to eat because they're hungry. And so giving children those tools really just helps the whole family communicate more effectively.
And you remember it throughout your life. I think my husband and I have learned a few too that can help you as you grow.
Absolutely. My husband didn't know much sign language before he met me, but now he and I use it all the time to communicate, either across a crowded room, across the pool when we're there with the kids, or to be able to sneak some things, instead of spelling.
Your secret
age. Yes, the secrets that you want to talk about that you don't want your children to know.
And it's not always perfect. My daughter, when she's all done, it goes more like this. So, does it need to be perfect? Do we want to correct those, or?
It doesn't need to be perfect.
As long as they're communicating.
Yep, as long as they're communicating. Again, we at HASA really work really hard with the families to help the families interpret the signals being given to them by their children. And so if this means all done, we're going to reinforce it because it's a great way to communicate.
Thank you so much for coming in. And of course, if you guys need help, go see them. They're great. All right.